Okay, so this video we're gonna talk about the roadmap for your backend software engineering. This is for like SD2 or SD3 level. I'm not covering like SD1 as of now, but like SD1 can be covered into this as well. Like if you remove some of the topics, this that can be for SD1 as well. So this is basically for the top product based companies. Like if you follow this roadmap, this is for a 6 months roadmap. If you follow like this roadmap bluntly for 6 months, you can crack any of the top product based companies or maybe some good startups. So we're gonna start with what should be the topics you should be covered and the timelines. I'm not going in details of those topics yet for this particular video. I mean, I can create separate videos for the topic, but we can discuss that as well. Roadmap for software engineers, backend. Product based companies or a startup. So what we gonna do, tell you the topics that you can cover and then the timelines for those topics. You can divide those timelines. That guide also I will give you how to do that. So firstly, like your first topic should be DSA, obviously. So DSA is the thing that you can do for like next 6 months. This is a 6 months roadmap. So DSA you need to do for 4 to 5 months, like 2 questions a day based on your timelines, like whatever the bandwidth you have. If it is a weekend, you can take like maybe 3 4 questions. If it is like a weekday, maybe 2 questions a day, and this gonna keep on continue for your whole preparation time. I'm not digging too much into DSA. This is like a high level roadmap video, but I can create a separate video like for every topic that I'm putting here. So what you can do, like pick 2 questions a day, and maybe along with that DSA you take another topic based on feasibility, but this gonna keep along the DSA part. The second part that you need to focus in on your high level system design. So this is the topic that will be asked you highly, like 2 or 3 rounds of a system design. Maybe this gonna take 2 3 months. So this is basically like a high level system design, like design Instagram, design WhatsApp, design a booking management system. Those kind of stuff people gonna ask you into this particular topic. This you can prepare from maybe software. There are so many YouTube channels, there are so many paid courses, there are so many books as well. So I'm not going into the resources for now, but this is one of the topics that you need to focus on. Another topic that you need to focus on is low level system design. This again take like 1 to 2 months. So this topics will have mostly like how you design interfaces, how you design classes, how you write the database schemas. Those kind of things gonna cover here. Suppose like you have given design of Flipkart, maybe maybe a e-commerce system. So in high level design you design the services, like how user will interact with the services, how the flows gonna happen, if it is a REST or maybe queue based, what type of database you're gonna use. Those aspects comes into the high level system design. And your low level system design, suppose you are writing a user service, then what design patterns you are using, or maybe what type of databases you are using, what how you designing the database schema, how the data flow is happening, how your layering is happening, like data layer to business layer to your presentation layer, how that flow is happening. So those kind of stuff gonna cover in your low level system design. So this is the third topic that we need to focus on. This again, like you can take 1 or 2 months. Next is it's optional for some of the companies. Some companies do ask this is like machine coding round. So this is basically nothing but a mixture of low level design and your coding skills. So they're gonna ask you like maybe they put a problem like write a user service or write a booking management service. So they gonna see like how well you use system design, sorry, the design patterns, how you design the classes, interfaces, how your flow is going, whether your code is modular or not. So there are certain questions that you can just practice for this, and this is not a huge like blocker for us. If you are good at like basic level of programming, this point is fine for you. Basically this is the fourth point. The whole preparation should be divided into major and minor. Like suppose today a week you decided like you gonna take some major topics of DSA, maybe recursion or something. The minor could be some 2-3 topics of low level system design. Another week the major could be high level system design, where in this week you're gonna cover like 3-4 questions of high level system design. That week the minor could be just maybe 1 or 2 questions of array strings, like. So the whole 4 or 5 months of the preparation will go with major and minor concept. This is how we gonna do. So whole 6 months will be divided into 4 months of preparation. This preparation is just 4 months, and then maybe 1 month of giving interviews. You once you give like interviews, there will be so many things where actually you gonna start facing like this is what I'm lacking. Maybe communication is a problem, maybe DSA I haven't practiced much, maybe this is my weakness. So those topics you will get to know once you actually start giving interviews. And then the remaining 1 month you need to take to maybe improve yourself or get back on the table, and maybe just write what went wrong in the interviews and maybe follow feedback. So those kind of things you need to cover in the last 1 month. So this is about the fourth topic. Fifth topic is actually a little bit interesting, that is databases. So databases will go in your high level as well, in your low level as well, in your machine coding as well. So what database is gonna teach, I mean what you need to cover is like firstly SQL, NoSQL, when to choose what. Suppose there's a Flipkart page, product page, right? So product image will go into the S3 bucket, that will be a NoSQL database. The description could be like a key value pair, because this is a dynamic, right? That can go to maybe Mongo or something like that. User details can go to a SQL, because that is a relational, right? So in a single page there could be like n number of different databases. So when to choose what, SQL versus NoSQL. If it is like you are choosing NoSQL, then what type of NoSQL? There are different types like key value pair, columnar, time series, document based, right? There also come cap, theorem. So these all things will gonna come into the databases. That also you need to cover. This hardly take a month. If it is like SQL, then you should be aware of like indexes, the databases behind the indexes, or maybe keys, or maybe some joins, those kind of things we need to prepare. This is the fifth topic that you need to prepare. These are, I would also divide this all topics into major and minor. Like these are the major topics that I'm writing here, like this. Sixth is your language. So language, like any of the language you are aware, like or you have a command of, or we can call it as a programming language. So it could be maybe Java, or maybe C++, or maybe Python, whatever the language you are comfortable. But make sure like you know end to end of that language. Like if you are picking Java, then basics of Java, constructor and methods and those things. Advanced version of Java like exception handling, frameworks of Java like Spring Boot, or maybe Hibernate, right? Those kind of things. So language should be end to end, you must be aware of. This is the sixth main point that you need to cover. Seventh is obviously your projects. So projects is something what, okay, this language gonna take around a month. And projects, it's like what you have done in your like final year of your engineering or something, like what you have, whatever you have done. or maybe in your current company what projects you are preparing, what are your contributions. So make sure, like if it is a engineering project, you put it on a GitHub in a working condition, like the readme is there. If it is like in a current company project, what portion you contributed to, maybe like the projects could have worked between like 4 or 5 people. You should know the high level of design of that whole project, and the your contribution part you must be aware of, like the constraint and the keys of that. So this project gonna take another 1 month to prepare for you. This is also important. So this 7 points are important for your preparation, 4 month preparation as a major. There are some minor topics as well that you need to do. You can't skip those. So minor is like 8th point is your tools. So by the tools, you mean like if you are already SD1, you should be aware of basic tools like Git, Maven, the build tool, some IDEs, right? Now there will be so much programming based on the model, so you should be aware of like what models to use, the prompt engineering. So maybe Opus is one of the model, GPT, whatever that you are using, those type of models you should be aware of. What are the pros and cons of that? So these things here also come like monitoring. If you are like in high level design, you design your system, like now how you monitor that. There's so many open source tools like Prometheus, Grafana, those things are there. How you will take care of logging. So there are tools like Elasticsearch, Kibana, ELK stack, so how you can do the logging stuff as well. So these are some after and in between tools that you're gonna actually use to prepare your projects, right? So these tools are also important. People can ask questions based on those tools. Another topic that is important is your cloud systems. So if you are like already in your company using any of the cloud, like if you are using maybe AWS or Azure or maybe GCP, it's good. It's well, like you don't need to focus much on this topic. But if you are too naive on this, then you can take a course, maybe a 1 month course or something, to just brush up like what are the services actually present. This is gonna help you in high level system design as well, like what we call databases in a cloud, what is a cache, what is a VM, right? What are the roles? So this comes with cloud systems. So you should be aware of any of the cloud system, the basic services. There could be like 8 to 9 basic services that you should be aware of. So this gonna take 1 month. Tools also gonna take 1 month, not like a bigger thing that you should focus on. So overall, these are the 9 points that you keep working on maybe for another 4 months. And then at the end of the 4th month, you start giving interviews, and then maybe there will be some problems you got it, and then you need to focus on those. But within this 8 or 9 topics, if you cover everything, there will be no company that can reject you. I mean, you can be rejected by your silly reasons or maybe not performing well, but there won't be any interview in a backend interview software engineering that can go beyond this all 9 topics. AI is one of the factor that we can include, but mostly for a backend software engineering, it's like how you're using the model. It's not like the algorithms or the machine models, how do you train that, and those can't be they won't ask that. So these are the 9 topics. Also, let me know in the comment section if you want like individual breakdown videos of like 9 videos of the 9 particular topics. So what I can do, I can prepare more videos like what to cover in DS in this 4 or 5 months, like what topics, what are the resources. Similarly for high level design and maybe other topics as well. So then how you can do this major minor thing, like 80% you need to focus on one topic and divide on other topic. The week by week you need to prepare this plans, like this whole roadmap can be break down into months, and then months can be break down into weeks. So this is how it works. So basically I had a sheet, but I can show you later. So this is how we used to do, like we used to break down all this, like all these my mentees which are working with me, we used to break down this. I can maybe probably show all these videos we need to break down. and then maybe I can show you later, or maybe I can put the link in the description. But that is the Excel sheet where every topic is there into the Excel sheet, the timeline based on the topics that we're gonna cover. That is for a different video. This is for now, it's the complete roadmap. Yeah, thanks.